Bite Back campaign campaigns against something called the mosquito device. The mosquito device, if you're unsure, is a device which emits a high-pitched noise which only the people under the age of 25 can hear. This noise is designed to irritate and cause discomfort in the eardrums. There are 8,000 of these devices in Europe and 3,500 of these are in the UK. It was launched in January 2006, and since then the company has produced a more powerful model with a 50-metre range, designed for use in larger areas like cemeteries and building sites. In the UK, the police, local councils, shops and private homeowners are among those who have purchased and installed the mosquito. The mosquito causes severe discomfort to children and in turn impacts on parents and parenting. For example, an 8-year-old boy in the UK said that he had heard the device in operation, but was afraid to tell his parents in case they did not believe him. "That buzzing noise," he said, "I've heard it, the other night about 1 in the morning. When we asked him what were you doing outside the shops at 1 in the morning, he said, I wasn't. I live over the shops. It's always waking me up." Another child, who has had ear surgery, described how the device sets off a tinnitus, ringing in the ears, and causes her significant pain. 2 teenage girls described the noise as going right through you, and like a sort of screeching noise. The device frustrates people too, but we have reported... Another child, who has had ear surgery, described how the device sets off her tinnitus and causes her significant pain. 2 teenage girls described the noise as going right through you and like a sort of screeching noise. The device frustrates parents too, who have reported that children become agitated and need to leave public places like supermarkets and car parks quickly and without explanation. The use of the mosquito could possibly contravene a number of principles protected by international and human rights law, including the right to respect for private and family life, Article 8 European Convention on Human Rights, prohibition of discrimination, Article 14 European Convention on Human Rights, the protection from physical or mental violence, injury or abuse, Article 19 UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, freedom of assembly and association, Article 15 UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, the right to a high standard of physical and mental health, Article 24 UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. The United Nations Committee on the Rights of the Child, in its concluding observations to the UK in October 2008, came out strongly against the use of the mosquito device. The committee expressed its concern at the restrictions imposed by the mosquito device on the freedom of movement and peaceful assembly of children, and recommended that the UK government reconsider its use, insofar as it may violate these rights for children. It notes that the right to freedom of movement and peaceful assembly are essential to children's development, and according to Article 15 of the Convention, can only be subject to very limited restrictions. Given that the mosquito device is capable, in its ordinary use, of perpetrating a criminal assault within the meaning of Section 2 of the Non-Fatal Offences Against the Person Act 1997, and therefore its users leave themselves viable to criminal prosecution, it's hard to believe that the government still allow this device to be used on their property. Article 14 of the European Convention on Human Rights states that the rights included in the Convention shall be secured, for all, without discrimination, on any ground. The right to be free from discrimination is an unqualified right, and the use of the mosquito may be considered discriminatory on the grounds of age, as it is targeted specifically at young people and children. The mosquito device affects all young people and children, not just those who are engaging in criminal or antisocial behaviour. It is equally disturbing for a baby in a pram as for a teenager throwing stones. How is this fair? A similar device targeting all adults or all elderly people would likely be greeted with outrage. Excluding all children, regardless of their behaviour, from shared public space is quite simply not fair. It is also unclear if the device would breach the Equal Status Act of 2000. The quality of life depends on the quality of an access to shared resources. It is a measure of the health and public realm. Yet, children, through the use of devices like the mosquito, are willfully excluded and segregated from public spaces by adults. A society that values its children and young people and seeks to instill them the values of dignity and respect does not ban them from shared spaces by using deterrent technology. Media attitudes to young people are increasingly extreme. Use of the mosquito device reinforces these attitudes by creating an understanding that all young people, when assembled together in a group, are there to cause trouble and should be dispersed. Degrading children by denying them access to public space instead of providing them with opportunities for them can only be detrimental in the long term. It may also contribute to the perception among young people that the law is not there to protect them, but is more so against them. The long-term health implications of being subjected to the mosquito device are not clear. The device is not fully understood. The Co-op supermarket in the UK stopped using the device following complaints from a young person with autism who was made to feel ill and disorientated by the high-pitched sound. It is not even yet known whether the device is heard or affects babies in the womb. Prohibiting the use of the mosquito device would demonstrate the government's commitment to its objectives to create a big society, and would be a victory for children's rights in the UK. It would also be a perfect visualisation of this government's vision for its big society, and would remove a device which in the past has caused huge divisions within communities and broaden the gap between young and old.